Aidan Zingg, a name that had only just begun to echo through the motocross world with promise, determination, and youthful energy, tragically lost his life over the weekend in a racing accident that has left the motocross community, his family, friends, and fans in stunned mourning. He was just 16 years old. The accident occurred during the highly anticipated 2025 Mammoth Motocross event in Mammoth Lakes, California, an event that annually brings together some of the most talented riders in the country and showcases the fierce spirit of the sport. What was meant to be a weekend filled with passion, adrenaline, and camaraderie turned dark in an instant, as Aidan sustained fatal injuries during a race that would tragically be his last. According to early reports by Dirt by Clover, a dedicated outlet known for its focus on the motocross world, Aidan Zingg was racing with the same fire and drive he had always exhibited when disaster struck. In the blink of an eye, he crashed and, horrifyingly, was run over by multiple bikes. Cause of the crash remains unclear at this time. There has been no official word yet from local authorities, despite inquiries being made, and the community is left with more questions than answers. The abruptness of Aidan's passing, the way it came during what was supposed to be a triumphant day in his young career, has added to the collective heartbreak. In a sport known for its risks, this kind of loss never gets easier to accept. Each rider who gears up knows the dangers. They all do. But Aidan's youth, his unshakable enthusiasm, and the vast horizon of dreams that lay ahead make this tragedy all the more gut-wrenching. Aidan Zingg was not just another racer trying to make his way through the motocross circuit. He was a rising star. His talent was unmistakable. His rise in the motocross community had been meteoric, and for those who followed his journey from the early days, his progress had been nothing short of inspiring. He was one of those rare individuals who, from a very young age, demonstrated not just raw skill but also discipline, humility, and the kind of heart that made people root for him on and off the track. He had recently joined Kawasaki's Team Green, a prestigious program that provides support to the brand's most promising young riders nationwide. Being a part of Team Green is no small feat. It's an acknowledgement that you have what it takes: the courage, the technique, the mental toughness, and the perseverance to go the distance. Aidan was already proving himself as someone who would not only uphold that legacy but elevate it. He had quickly become one of the most talked about young talents on the scene, and those who knew the sport well recognized that he was just getting started. His youth, paired with his passion, created a sense of electricity wherever he went. Fellow racers respected him and fans adored him. But it wasn't just Aidan's racing ability that stood out. It was who he was when he wasn't behind the handlebars. He was described by those who knew him as kind-hearted, grounded, respectful, and genuine. He was a kid who still had that sparkle in his eyes, the kind you see when someone is doing exactly what they love. That's what made him different. That's what made people remember him. In a world that can sometimes become obsessed with competition, ego, and fame, Aidan remained humble. He remembered names. He looked people in the eye. He thanked mechanics. He hugged his mom. He smiled for photos with young fans. And even as his star began to rise, he never stopped taking a moment to say hello to people, a fact remembered by veteran motocross journalist Don Maeda, who posted a heartfelt tribute online. Maeda, with years of experience in the racing world and countless interactions with riders of all ages and temperaments, remarked how Aidan always went out of his way to greet people warmly, even as he began transitioning into the more competitive world of big bike racing, an age when many teens begin to distance themselves, acting too cool or too proud to engage. But not Aidan. He stayed true to himself. It's hard to put into words just how devastating the loss of someone like Aidan Zingg is. Just 16, he was a teenager in age but already showing the maturity and focus of a seasoned athlete. He had sacrificed the typical teenage life to pursue greatness. His weekends weren't spent at malls or house parties. They were spent at dusty tracks, training under grueling conditions, chasing better lap times, learning from setbacks, and pushing his limits. His schoolwork was often juggled with race schedules. His vacations were often races in disguise, and his friendships were mostly with those who shared the same unwavering drive. To understand motocross is to understand that it's more than a sport, it's a way of life. Early mornings, late nights, sore muscles, fractured bones, endless travel, and relentless repetition. But it's also family. It's connection. It's adrenaline. It's love. And for Aidan, it was everything. He breathed motocross, gave him a purpose, an identity, and a community. As tributes continue to pour in from all corners of the racing world, the picture that emerges is not just of a gifted rider, but of a wonderful young man who left a lasting impression on everyone he met. From fellow riders and fans to journalists and event organizers, the sentiments are heartbreakingly similar. Aidan was one of the good ones. His death has left a hole in the heart of the motocross community, a space that will never truly be filled. Young deaths always hit harder. They carry the weight of unrealized dreams, of could-have-beens and what-ifs. In Aidan's case, the possibilities seemed endless. He could have been a champion. He could have inspired a new generation of riders. He could have been a mentor, a leader, a legend. But perhaps in his short time on Earth, he already was. The image of a young Aidan suited up, helmet on, eyes focused, hands gripping the handlebars remains etched in the memory of those who followed his journey. He was never reckless, only passionate. He knew the risks, but he loved the sport deeply. Motocross wasn't just a hobby for Aidan, it was a calling. And he answered it every single day with courage. His family, no doubt grappling with unimaginable grief, had supported him wholeheartedly, driving him to practices, cheering from the sidelines, comforting him after injuries, celebrating his wins, and holding him up through his losses. Their loss is unfathomable. Pain of losing a child, especially one who burned so brightly, is a grief that words can never do justice. In the days and weeks to come, there will be memorials and rides in his honor. Riders will race with his number on their bikes. Fans will create tribute videos. Parents will hug their young racers a little tighter before the next race. Aidan's name will echo in the canyons of the very tracks he once ruled. His story, tragic though it may be, will serve as a reminder of the fierce beauty and bittersweet nature of chasing dreams with everything you've got. He lived with purpose. He raced with heart. And even though he's no longer here, his spirit will ride on. For those outside the racing world, Aidan may become a name they hear once in passing, a fleeting headline about a young boy lost too soon. But for those who knew him, raced alongside him, or watched him grow from a little kid on a 65 cubic centimeters to a fearless teenager tackling the big leagues, his memory will never fade. The racetrack is a sacred place, one where joy and pain often exist side by side. And somewhere, Aidan will always be there, in the roar of the engines, the smell of the fuel, the dust in the air, and the dreams of every little kid putting on their gear for the first time. 16 years. Doesn't seem like enough time to leave a legacy, but Aidan Zingg proved otherwise. His life, though brief, was powerful. He inspired. He competed. He connected. And now he is remembered. Not just as a racer, but as a son, a friend, a teammate, a role model. There is a profound stillness in knowing that he won't line up at the gate again, won't be seen throwing whips off a jump, won't be heard laughing in the pit between motos. But there is also a deep gratitude for the time we did have, the laps he did complete, and the joy he brought to so many. To Aidan's family, we offer not just condolences, but our heartfelt thanks for sharing him with the world, for raising a young man who brought so much light, and for standing by him as he chased his dream. In his honor, we vow to ride harder, live fuller, and love more deeply. 'Cause that's what Aidan did. He gave his all. And in the end, isn't that what greatness truly is? Rest in peace, Aidan Zingg. You were loved. You are missed. You will never be forgotten.